Hi everybody, it's Adrienne. I have a great video for you today. I had some people asking what a bridal seamstress does when it's not bridal season, and it's become a little bit of a seasonless industry. However, there are moments where there's a lull. So anytime there is a lull, we prep. I watch a lot of shows about Alaska and they're always preparing for winter. So I feel like this is really similar. Whenever we're not in season, we are prepping for the next season so that we can eliminate any issues we had that previous season. So one of the things that I like to do is make any supplies that I need for myself that I go through a ton of during the actual bridal season, which this one I'm going to be putting together today. You might be able to guess based on what's in front of me. These are going to be waist stays. I have one. I've been auditioning different ribbons and different colors. And this is one that I already made in ivory. This is a different style of ribbon. This one is called Petersham. This has the little nubby edge. And it's got a little bit of like mechanical flex. It's not stretchy, but it's got a little bit of give to it. It's meant to wrap corners on like bindings. So it's just got a little bit of a different characteristic to it. This one is a grosgrain from Wawak. This is what I'm going to be using today in taupe. It's a pretty decent bridal nude. You know how they all come in this one shade of nude color. So this particular size is the 7/8, which matches this size of hardware. This is just from Amazon. There's a few different brands that make this, and you just want to make sure that your hardware matches the size of the opening. This one has a little bit of flex, but the millimeter sizes and the inch sizes don't always match up between the hardware, so you're going to want to find one that matches the closest. That's why I was looking between this style of ribbon and this one. I do like how this one is a little bit more like structurally sturdy. I don't want to have a lot of flex in this particular piece. I do love the width of this better. You can see this really fills up the space nicely. And this is rayon, so I do like this fiber content. See how that fits much better? I do love that. It's so nice. But this one being polyester, I can seal the ends with a lighter, you know, where you just hit it. I don't know if my fan's gonna let me do that right now. Let's click this guy. But these waist stays are so handy to have made up already so that you're not making them for every bride. And what this does is just buckles. So you're gonna sew one side to the side seam of the dress and the other side to the side seam of the other side of the dress, and then you can buckle her in the back before you zip the dress up or button it up, and it just gives it a little bit of extra, you know, structure, a little bit of zip, a little bit of lift. So they're really handy to have. So I'm going to start off with a couple of these, and the best, oops, I just knocked the camera, sorry, don't get seasick. The best way to do these is to run off your measurements and build yourself a little template on your table so you're not having to measure every time with what you need. Now I'm going to cut these at 14 inches because I find that that's like more than enough. I don't want to have too much excess, but I want to make sure that they fit a wide variety of people, and that I'm not having to go back and cut a whole bunch. So normally I'll sit off and make a whole big batch of these so I can do all the steps at once. So I'll do all of the cutting, all of the lighter bits, all at once. So this is pretty simple. This hardware, you only need one piece for this project. You're gonna tuck in your hardware. You're gonna roll about 1/4 of an inch, and you're gonna fold just like that. And honestly, the measurement that I use is whatever I can get my foot snuggled up right next to. So I want to make sure this has the least amount of play as possible, but still has, see how I can get like right next to my foot? That's exactly what I'm going for. Now I'm going to set my machine stitch length to smaller than I would do a normal seam. I want this to be really nice and tight. Let's see here. I'm probably going to do like 8 stitches, 6 to 8 stitches per inch, something nice and small. Bloop, 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 back stitch, forward, back stitch off. And then I'm gonna run right into the next one. So I would run off all the hook side. That's what I would do first, running off all the same side. And I don't necessarily pay attention to which side is left or right. I'm not too concerned about that because when I install it, I'll put, you know, where I want things to go later. And just run right off into my next piece. And then same thing, like that. So that's what the one side will look. I'm going to trim this all up. Make sure it's ready to roll. Look at that. Isn't she beautiful? And then for the other side, same thing. I'm going to do that same amount. And usually I'll do some at 14 length, and then I'll do some at 10, just so that I'm not wasting a ton of ribbon either. Because like if I need a small one, I'll grab the 10. And if I need one that's a little bit larger, I'll grab the 14. Okay. So then for that smaller side, there's not another piece of hardware. So you're going to fold your 1/4 of an inch down, just like that. And you're going to fold yourself a little channel. And that's what your gate hook, that's what these are called. Your gate hook's going to sew right into that. So same thing. And then you can go a little bit beefier on this stitch. You can get like right up in there, and you can go double if you want, or you can just do larger tacks at the end. Just like that. Clean everything up really nice. The goal is to build yourself a little box of these. So that way during, you know, busy season, you don't have to be making any of these, but they'll be ready and waiting for you. Ta-da! And then what I usually do is match. So that's how that would look. I put the seam side away from her body, so I let this part be what touches her body. Sew these into the seams, and then this will just help hold the dress in. And you can sew carriers like belt loops onto the dress to thread this through, so that way you get more structure depending on what you're needing from the dress and what you're needing from this piece of hardware to help you do. This can help when a dress is too heavy. This can help when a dress is sliding down all over the place. This is handy for a lot of different reasons, in conjunction with other alterations or as like a stopgap, you know, standalone. This has a lot of really, really great applications. So this is a good trick to have in your back pocket. And so yeah, my goal is just to build a whole box of these and just have them ready to use for when I need them. Because man, isn't it the worst when you have to like stop and make something small and finicky when you're in the middle of everything? So yeah, I'm gonna actually cut through most of this whole roll because I want these to just be ready and prepped. And I've also got, let me see here, I got the ivory and I got the white. I feel like these are going to be less common because I feel like a lot of backs on dresses, at least the ones I've been getting lately, are sheer. So I feel like nudes are going to be a little bit more common. And I say nudes with a funny tone because, as you know, we have a million shades of skin tones out there, and bridal nude is either orange or this like light brown mocha color. So that's, you know, this could change based on if you wanted to dye the ribbon to match the bride's skin tone a little bit better. That's one of the reasons why I was looking at doing this particular ribbon being rayon. It's a natural fiber, so it should take dye, whereas this is going to be a lot more challenging to dye because polyester is its own whole thing. You can dye it, but it doesn't give you consistent results all the time, and during busy season I don't think any of us want to do that. Okay, so there we go. And honestly, I don't mind having some left and right styles because on a different manufacturers, sometimes they put the hooks and eyes on the left or the right hand side of the dress. It's not consistent among manufacturers either. So what I do is it doesn't matter obviously, but if the hook on the dress is on this left hand side, I try to put all the hooks of anything I'm adding onto the left hand side so that way it looks like it belongs there. You know, so you can see I would love it if this ribbon was just a touch, you can see it just a tiniest little bit thicker. If it was just the tiniest bit, that'd be great. Or if the hardware came a little bit smaller, but it doesn't. So I'm gonna try these out and see how I like these. This is something that I would love to make a bunch of for people that don't feel like doing finicky sewing. These also come in these smaller sizes. I think this one is too small for a waist stay. My brain says big is better for a waist stay. And then this one I'm actually going to end up using for detachable straps. So I'll use this for straps, and I have some rhinestone chain to make into straps, so I'll attach that to those. I couldn't find these as just, you know, standalone pieces, but this is a piece of hardware that I'm working on using. Now, I had tried one other brand and I didn't like it, so this is the one I ended up liking. This is just from Amazon. It's called Taupe, and it comes in this little mixed pack here. You can see it comes in a cute little hardware case. So if you happen to not want to make these for yourself, that's fine. I'm going to eventually offer these as a product that I make because I like batch sewing. Look how cute the little box is. I feel like every seamstress has an obsession for tiny little storage, right? I think we all love that. So yeah, this little mix pack here, this size that I got is the hair smaller, but it's just, you can see it doesn't fit this one quite as well. So I have a different, see how it's like just bending it a tiny little bit? I would rather have it be loose than too tight, I think. So I have a couple of different ribbons I'm gonna work with this next size down, because I think these two are the best sizes. You see how they're just like, they're both like, I don't know, they make sense for a waistband. This one I'm gonna lean on a little bit harder right now because I feel like that's the one that I will probably use the most. So yeah, I wanted to just show you guys something in case you need ideas of what to be making and doing. I know not everybody likes to stop and make veils during off season because you don't know if you're going to sell them or not, but this will help you prepare and be in good shape for the next season when it hits. These can also be used for prom. These can be used anytime. They're just a basic staple to have in your sewing room for whenever you need them. I haven't decided how I'm going to store these yet, but I'm basically just going to keep them handy for the next time I have a heavy dress situation where I want to throw in a little bit of extra. And you can see how quickly those whipped up. They whipped right up. No big deal. So, yep, I'm probably going to cut down this whole roll. This is, I think this is a 20-yard roll from Wawak. This is just from Morix. They make really nice ribbon. And yeah, there's the white and the ivory. You can see those are both two different little widths there. I think this one might match the hard rib. It's a touch smaller. So, and these are all polyester as well. So, okay, that's my quick little demonstration on waist stays and something to do to keep you busy between bridal season, prom season, and all the other seasons, unless you want to get out and like actually relax. But this is a good one to get you ready for the next season. So I hope this was helpful to you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comments for me, and I'll leave all this stuff in the description so that way you can find all these items too. Not sponsored by anything. This is just something I wanted to share. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video.